I'm living in Florida, I have a lanai, I might as well have a bar. And I went to Amazon and they have what looks like a pretty good tiki style bar for under $200. Amazing. That includes 2 padded stools. And I saw it was sold under a lot of different names, but it all seemed to be essentially the same thing. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to assemble it. It came in one big heavy box. I took it out and it looks to be pretty well made. It's got a sturdy metal frame and the weaving is plastic, but it looks really good. So let's get started. I'll go through the whole process of putting this together and maybe we can end the day with a cool, refreshing beverage. It came in a lot of pieces. I have them all spread out right now. That's the top. Those are the 2 sides. These are the interior shelves. What you're looking at over here on the other side of that chair are the front pieces. So let's get started. The whole thing is put together with these screws and washers, and it comes with the Allen wrench you need and a regular small wrench. So it ought to be pretty easy. I think I'll start with the stools. There are 2 pieces like this for each stool, and they bolt to the underside of the seat. The one thing you have to be careful of is there are 4 different size screws, so make sure you're using the right one at the right time. We'll start by attaching the legs to these 4 holes. We're going to be using the 30mm bolt. That is the second smallest. I would recommend just loose fitting everything first. In fact, the directions say that as well, to make sure everything fits, and then tighten them all down. One thing you do have to be careful of is that these screw holes that are inside each set of legs are facing each other, because the next thing we're going to do is attach this cross brace. And these are attached with the smallest 15mm bolts. Once again, everything is going to go in just lightly so we can get all those holes to match up. There's one side, and we attach that to the other side. Okay, so we have the whole thing assembled. Now I'm going to tighten down all of those screws. And one thing I might do when I'm all done putting this thing together is I might take this Allen wrench and tape it underneath one of these seats or behind the bar somewhere, because one day in the future you are going to want to tighten these down a little more. And there it is, when everything's tightened down. It's not a bad looking stool and pretty solid. I sat down on this and it seemed to support me really well. Now we repeat with bar stool number 2. There's both of the stools finished, and these cushions are pretty nice. They seem to be about 2.5 inches thick. They rebound nice, and they are made out of like a vinyl-y woven material, which means they should hold up well when they're exposed to the great outdoors. Now let's build the bar. I'm one step closer to that cool, refreshing drink. As you put the bar together, be very careful that you're using the right pieces. For example, this one says left leg, and that's identifiable by these 2 holes in the front and 2 holes on the top. No holes on this side. That's how we know that this is the correct piece, because it has those 2 holes. There's one here, and you probably can't see it, and there's one here. So I know we have the right piece. So we're going to start by laying that down, and then we're going to attach the center piece and the bottom piece. They're both identical, and we're going to attach them by the 4 holes, 2 in the center and 2 on the bottom. There's one attached, and once again, these bolts are snug, but I didn't really tighten them down. We want to make sure that this side that has those screw holes is also the same side that has the screw holes on our shelf. And there's both of them loosely attached. And by the way, those are using the 30mm bolts, or screws, however you want to describe these. And those are the second smallest. There's a whole bunch of them. Now I'm going to lay the other side on top of this and screw it down. And by the way, what I just noticed is these are labeled with stickers on the bottom. So that'll help you in figuring out which is the left side and the right side and the top and the bottom. Now we're going to put the front on. The front comes in 2 panels and it attaches in 3 places each. So we have a screw here that's going to match up, one in the middle, and then one on that end. Getting this front on has probably been about the trickiest part of this build. Remember when I said earlier to leave the screws loose? Particularly important here. It's going to seem like stuff doesn't fit, but if you leave it loose enough, it will all fit. Get it all bolted together, then tighten everything down. Let me show you what has to be screwed together on the back of this front. On the back of the front? Yeah, the inside of the front. So on either end, you have a screw. And then on the middle, there's a screw. There's the other end. And on the middle out here. So that's screwing together in a lot of different places. And if you tighten them down too soon, you're really going to struggle to get everything to fit. Now I still have to put the second one on. And that goes in this opening here. And those two are going to bolt together here in the middle. There's a lot of working pieces, so leave it loose until you have it all fitting together. So to play a little catch up, we're looking at the inside. The unit is still lying on its side. So we have a couple of bolts there. This is the middle shelf. This is the bottom. You can see that we have one of the long bolts right here holding the 2 front pieces together. Of course, those front pieces are on their side right now, and they're bolted to the sides. Now this one is the only one that really didn't come together tight, but you can see that it's real snug here. So I don't think it'll come together any tighter unless that metal were to bow. So I think we're in good shape, because other than that, it's really tight and snug everywhere around here. I have to say that was probably the toughest part of this whole project, was getting everything to fit and then going through and tightening every one of those bolts. Took a lot of patience, and my thumb's kind of sore right now from turning that Allen wrench, but it's done. So we're going to set it upright on the floor and put that top on. Hey, that's starting to look like a bar, isn't it? Either that or a wicker clothes hamper. Now be careful when you open this top, because there is a piece of glass in there. This is a frame and then glass. So I'm going to have to cut this apart and separate that glass, put the top frame on first, and then set the glass in place. So there's the glass. You can see it's a dark brown or black tempered glass. And then we have the wicker or rattan looking frame. So I'm going to move the glass away, and we're going to put that frame on first. Since the top attaches from inside, I thought it would be easier to just put that frame on the ground, lay the bar on top of it upside down, and put the screws in from that direction. So now we've got the top on. It screws in 4 different locations, 2 on each side. And there are 6 rubber bumpers to protect the glass. Well, it looks like a pretty nice bar. All that's left is to christen it by making ourselves a drink. And I tell you, I'm ready. This wasn't a difficult job, but it's a hot day, and I could use something nice and cool. This is not a tough job, but take your time, make sure everything fits. If there's going to be any frustration, it's going to be if you tighten things down and then it looks like something else won't fit. Trust me, it all comes together, and this is a really nice bar. I think I might do something about the glass top. I think putting down a lot of glasses and things on here might be a little distracting, so maybe I'll put a piece of polished wood or something. We'll see. But for now, this tempered glass is going to work just fine. So thanks for joining me, everybody, on this bar build. I'm going to leave the link down below to where I purchased this on Amazon for under 200 bucks. I don't think you can do better. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. Leave your comments down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe by clicking my face in the corner. And don't forget to ring that bell icon. That way you'll know when I post new videos. I'm Mark, and this is the Average Me Channel.